Deal or no deal, that's reality TV. We know you love your dog. The white poles and orange poles, the I-95 expressway hot lanes have added an extra layer of confusion. Call it a brilliant advertising strategy. The owner here marking regular gas to $3.81 per gallon. That's 16 cents less than the national average. His goal is to get customers to the gas station and inside that store. Today's decision means higher costs, 50 cents to be exact, for riders. Folks forced to leave. 36 families staying with friends and family tonight. 4 families receiving aid from the American Red Cross after their roof came crashing in, leaving their home, their building like the one behind me, unsafe. What happened at this Pembroke Pines post office prompting this massive manhunt. If you have any information, if you recognize the man you see on your screen.
This is South Florida Tonight.
That's our story from Pembroke Pines. In Hollywood, in downtown Miami, TishaLewis, South Florida Tonight.
A sudden surprise. A tornado touchdown in South Florida.
I was in my room laying down and I was a falling.
Roofs ripped off. Cars flipped over. Residents running for cover. TishaLewis, live in Hialeah, detailing the path of damage.
Well, it's an untold story until tonight. Folks forced to leave. 36 families staying with friends and family tonight. 4 families receiving aid from the American Red Cross after their roof came crashing in, leaving their home, their building like the one behind me, unsafe after the storm. Watch as the twister is caught on camera. This exclusive cell phone capturing the tornado touching down in Hialeah.
You see things on TV and you just don't believe they can actually happen in front of you someday. It's not, we weren't in the movies here.
But the aftermath looks like a movie set. 3 blocks of destruction near West 24th Street and 1st Avenue. Nearly a dozen roofs collapsing, displacing 4 families. People like Peggy Rodriguez, victims of the real-life horror.
The car over there is damaged, hit another car, and the chairs everywhere. People are out here worried.
The Red Cross in action, offering a 3-night hotel stay, food, and aid to the families now homeless after the storm. Their homes destroyed in a matter of moments.
Amazing how one thing could do all this damage.
The amazing images of the tornado reaching down, causing collisions and breaking sturdy objects like this light pole in half. Surveillance cameras from a nearby business capturing images of Mother Nature's work.
The doors blow open on the building. We walked outside and the sky was swirling.
Patrick Haas telling us this is his second brush with a funnel cloud.
I witnessed a tornado that came by, I'm going to guess, 15 years ago. That memory is still burned vividly into my mind.
And now this memory of roaring winds sweeping through, leaving lights dangling and people holding on to hope.
I thought, I hope it doesn't come this way. And we ended up being very lucky and it didn't come our way.
Not everyone as fortunate. Again, 40 families forced from their homes and 4 of them tonight receiving aid from the American Red Cross. In the meantime, earlier tonight, there were 5,000 people across Miami-Dade and Broward counties with and a big break in a 7-year mystery. The FBI is saying they finally know who was behind the 2001 anthrax mail scare, sending shockwaves across the country. But even so, still few answers. Federal officials say prime suspect Dr. Bruce Ivins committed suicide Tuesday. Ivins apparently the mastermind behind the mailing, sending dozens of victims to the hospital and killing 5 people. The new suspect spent more than 3 decades as a civilian scientist for the Army's bioweapons laboratory. Investigators made the connection by linking a container owned by Ivins to a virtual DNA fingerprint of the anthrax used in the mailings. And caught on camera, an Oakland Park homeowner shoots a pit bull after he says it was attacking one of his pets. Anthony DiPolito says this is the second time a pit bull has attacked one of his pets. Surveillance video showing the pit bull attacking DiPolito's dog, Crystal. The owner of the pit bull can also be seen beating the animal to get it off Crystal, but that's when DiPolito then walks over and shoots the dog. Crystal has several injuries, including a wound on her neck. To see the images from the attack, log on to NBC6.net and click on the story under local news. And white poles and orange poles, the I-95 expressway hot lanes have added an extra layer of confusion for South Florida drivers. But higher-ups in our nation's capital say that's all going to change. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Mary Peters, was in Miami promising the so-called hot lanes will make commuting easier. More plastic poles have been added to the northbound lanes to try and discourage drivers from weaving in and out of the express lanes. Time check right now is 9:45. The Love Chef joins us live in studio, and he's cooking with love and showing us how to do it. I can't wait.
Come on, the weather's going to be hot today. We have to get cooled down.
South Florida.
South Florida, I know, and that's great.
We're here with the Love Chef.
Yeah, we're chilling, we're playing, we're having a good time. And I always like to tell people, may food be your medicine and medicine be your food. That's a very important thing. And watch what you do. We talked about if you're in a restaurant and they give you one of these big plates of food, a family-sized plate, eat half of it, take the other half home. You don't have to cook. And get down to smaller plates at home. Do not serve people in big, gigantic plates. Get down to mini plates. Like today, I'm going to feed you off this little forage plate. She wants the big plate. What are we going to do here? This is unbelievable. But I'm really looking forward. Beijing, I took my hat. This is an original hat. I was in Beijing last time I was here. There's my original Beijing hat. I bought that from a vendor. As you'll see, everybody be coming back with hats and all kinds of doodads.
Francis,
God
Anthony,
bless.
Thank you so much. Another check on your weekend weather coming up when we return.
Oh, we got the vino here. Cheers. No, mamacita, I love this.
We haven't heard from the Hernandez family since that tragic day in 2004, but tonight, Michael's mother is speaking out, getting ready for what could be her last chance to defend her son.
Unfortunately, if he had cancer, somebody would want to treat it because it's mental illness and you can't always see it. That's a whole different story.
Her 18-year-old son, Michael, is facing life in prison. It's a place Kathy Hernandez says her son does not belong.
This is not my son, that he is sick. Nobody asked for mental illness. Prison is just about punishment.
She's convinced that Michael snapped the day he led classmate Jaime Goff into the bathroom at Southwood Middle School, stabbing him repeatedly until he died. Hernandez says Michael needs help.
He's not a monster, that he was 14 years old, he was a child, he's mentally ill.
But determined, stable enough to stand trial, yet this is the snapshot of the son Hernandez hopes jurors will remember, not the images caught on this chilling confession tape.
In which direction you slit his throat? Left to right.
He's a son Hernandez claims showed no signs of violence despite a slaying sending shockwaves through a South Florida community.
As any parent, you want to know why, what happened. He's never given us a reason.
Repetitive behaviors, yes, but despite the journals, hit list, and graphic drawings, this mother says she noticed nothing.
He didn't want anybody in his room, but at 14 years old, what boy does?
In less than 24 hours, Kathy Hernandez will take the stand, hoping to convince a jury of two things.
Michael's mentally ill. Actually, he's insane. I don't think that a 14-year-old, even if they're not mentally ill, have the capacity to waive their Miranda rights without an attorney or a parent present.
And a message to the family facing their child's killer each day.
Nobody deserves to send their child to school and have them not come home.
And two children never came home that day on February 3rd, 2004. One lost his life. The other is facing life in prison. Both Hernandez's parents are set to testify tomorrow. That's the very latest from Orlando. TishaLewis, South Florida Tonight.